Konnichiwa, everyone. My name is Guardian Angel 181, and welcome to the first episode of Lady Otaku Presents. Yay! Now, let's talk some anime. Since it stands to reason that my first show should talk about my favorite and my first love of anime, this entire episode is going to be dedicated to Sailor Moon. Oh, Sailor Moon, my first love. I've been watching you since I was about 6 years old when you first came on Toonami. As a veteran fan, it's always nostalgic to see your series appear in videos or to watch the complete 200-episode series for the third time in a row. I've done it. It's also a great feeling to see Sailor Moon Crystal, a remake of the traditional series but based more on the manga, being produced for the internet nowadays. With the second season of the series ending on the internet as I speak, it might be a good idea to talk about the history of Sailor Moon. And instead of those top 10 facts, which are, kind of cliche. Veterans, be ready for some refreshers, and new fans, get ready to learn about things you never knew before.
You're a nerd!
Yeah, I know. Anyway, this is the Sailor Moon timeline. Before fighting evil by moonlight and winning love by daylight, Neko Takeuchi, the creator of Sailor Moon, was searching for a manga series. In 1991, the mangaka came up with what later would be considered a prequel to Sailor Moon. Codename Sailor V was published in Nekoyashi and Run Run magazines, giving readers some of the first glimpses of the Meatball Head heroine. Codenamed Sailor V was a manga series that focused on the character Sailor Venus, or Sailor V, before she joined the rest of the Senshi. It certainly is a more lighthearted series than Sailor Moon itself, what with Minako getting into some ridiculous situations, such as winning a trip to Hawaii or fighting in an idol battle, as well as getting plenty of crushes with a main character in each story arc. This series was the basis of Sailor Moon, though not quite as fleshed out as you would think. In 1992, a particular show caught Takeuchi's eye, giving her ideas on how to change codename Sailor V. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yep, Power Rangers. This team of 5 fighters was greatly popular at the time. However, it was geared towards young boys instead of girls. In an interview on the original Sailor Moon Laserdisc, Takeuchi stated that she wanted to make a story like the Power Rangers series, a girls' version, where the warriors go fighting upon the instructions from a central command post. It didn't turn out that way though, of course. From the concept came Sailor Moon. I had wanted to use 5 girls as the fighting warriors. If you look closely at the picture from the 2 series, you can see some similarities. Yep, they are definitely some lookalikes. The idea of having a team of magical girls was a giant step for the genre. Before, with different series such as Cutie Honey and Magical Girl Creamy Mamie, the main ideas of Magical Girls animes was to be cute, fashion, and overall girly ideas reigned supreme. But then Sailor Moon came into existence. Instead of the girls worrying about what song they're going to sing, or who the cutest guy in school is, though there was some of that too.
Hunky guy, he's really dreamy.
Dreamy schmeamy, but they look pretty smart. Maybe they'll join the dissection club.
Dissect yourself, Melvin.
Huh?
Don't you just love his hair? Just his hair? I love the whole package.
The characters had to focus on working together to save their loved ones. This is why the group are called Senshi. Senshi in Japanese means warrior, so they are the Sailor Warriors. After she started to publish Sailor Moon, with Usagi being the main character instead of Minako, codenamed Sailor V continued on until the storyline met up with Sailor Moon's in 1994. This character change was caused mainly from Toei Animation, who wanted to take up the series for their animation department. They wanted something with more teamwork oriented, such as the Power Rangers, rather than an individual heroine. With this in mind, Takeuchi blended in Sailor V with the rest of the Senshi, making her an intricate part of the team, and honestly one of my favorites. Codename ended up only getting 2 books to his name because of this. However, I would suggest it if you're looking for something good to read. It even has some cameos from other Sailor Moon characters in the later chapters. It's kind of fun spotting them. Toei Animation started production and then aired Sailor Moon in March of 1992. Huh. That's around the time I was born. Huh, who knew? Because it was running at the same time as the manga, the anime series ended up being drastically different than its printed counterpart. In the original manga, the Doom Dream series didn't exist. This storyline was added to the anime in order to give Takuchi a chance to finish creating the Chibiusa arc. The anime changed character traits as well for its longer running time. Usagi became more of a ditz for a longer period of time. Mamoru ended up becoming a generic boyfriend and kinda boring. And Rei was changed from a cool and collected to a bit of an arrogant brat.
Why would you do that?
It's also because of Toei that the series is so long in the first place. Originally, Sailor Moon was actually only going to be in a one-act manga, with Usagi discovering her past love and self. And then it ends.
The end.
In order to make a complete show, the animation company, as well as the publishing company, urged Takuchi to continue writing. This resulted in 52 acts in the series, 5 art books, and 10 side stories that resulted as bonuses or movies. One of my personal favorites is Parallel Sailor Moon, which is a manga short about Usagi's youngest daughter, Kosagi, transforming and saving Neo Tokyo from a bunch of rabbits. Sailor Moon took Japan by storm in the 90s. A ton of video games were created, including arcade games, RPG games, and side-scrollers. In between 1993 and 2005, Japan produced 30 different Sailor Moon-based plays and musicals. The musicals borrowed heavily from the anime and manga source material until the series ended in 1997. Then the topics grew kind of weird, such as the Senshi fighting vampires. Oh, I would have loved to see that. That would have been so much fun. In 2003, in tandem with the 10th anniversary of Sailor Moon, Toei Animation created a live-action version that ran until 2004. It was interesting, to say the least.
You must tell the truth.
Okay, fine, it was weird. The story itself was sort of close to the original source material. Kind of. They did change a few things, with most notably the one being when Sailor Mercury turns evil. Minako also took a change of character in the show. Instead of being the class clown that everyone just loved, she was more of a serious pop idol. And then there's Luna. Luna in this series is sometimes CGI and sometimes not CGI. Now this leads into the special effects of the show. Segue! It definitely takes heavily from Power Rangers, which was campy and cheap, but that added to its charm. Luna in this is sometimes a plush doll. Quite literally. I actually saw a Sailor Moon plush doll that looked just like this Luna in a Goodwill store when I was like, 10, 12, something like that. If Sabrina the Teenage Witch could make Salem look real for the most part, why couldn't Japan? I mean, seriously, Japan, why? The attacks also tend to look more like Adobe After Effects. And the costumes, oh, they're fabulous. Just so fabulous. I could say more about it, but it's something one should experience for themselves. Sailor Moon traveled to Europe starting in 1993 and slowly reached America's shores 5 years later. When the series came to America, there was actually a fight about how to dub it into English. Dick Entertainment fought with another company called Renaissance Atlantic about rights and styles. I guess they were being dicks. Dick wanted just to change the voices and translate things into English.
Venus, Crescent, Beam!
She's broken the force field!
For those who may not get it, they won. Renaissance, however, wanted to do something else. They wanted to recreate the show with live action and animation hybrid. Because they lost, they hired an animation team and pitched it to Saban Entertainment. Veterans, I think you know where I'm going with this. The show was never aired past production. In fact, as far as I know, they only created a script for a 17-minute pilot. Why? Well, take a look. Sorry for the bad quality of this film, but there is actual no existing footage of the original Sailor Moon as it became known as. This is the closest we can get on YouTube. Now, back to Dick. As I said, it won the war and translated everything for an American audience. Changing names, having Usagi eat donuts instead of buns, and changing her name to Meatball instead of Dumpling Head would cause quite a stir nowadays with how open anime is, but back then it was quite common. In fact, it was a standard practice. It actually kind of annoyed a lot of viewers when manga started coming out and being more realistic with the Japanese culture. As a side note, I will be doing a video talking about this act later on in the series, so keep an eye out for it. Anywho, the tone also was changed quite a bit in the American series. In Japan, the show was meant for older girls, like maybe around 12, 13. However, in the US, it was geared for younger kids, probably like around 7 or 8. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I got started in the first place. Oh. This resulted in changes such as this. This.
There's only one choice. No fun getting toasted. Oh! You're going down, Zoisite! Huh? Moon Prism! Power!
Of course, now we can watch the original Japanese show if we wanted to. Oh, the powers of the internet. Merchandise was also constructed, including keychains, dolls. I happen to own the entire inner senshi, including a Princess Sereni. Toy lockets, and much more. Dick worked on the first 2 seasons. Then Cartoon Network snagged rights to do the later 2 seasons, which actually focused more on the Japanese culture, didn't quite change as much. Season 5, however, never made it to America due to the series being cancelled when Toei Animation got into a fight with Neko Takuchi herself. Luckily, Tokyo Pop started to produce the manga in 1998, so us Moonies didn't have to suffer too much. Of course, when those ended, we were stuck until Sailor Moon was re-released, thanks to Toei in 2005. Of course, the Moonie craze hasn't totally died down since the end of the series' publication. There was, of course, the Save Our Sailors, or SOS, petition that fought to bring back Sailor Moon to the airways. In fact, the website still exists to this day. Oh look, I remember the Slayers character. Good show, good show. There's also a ton of fan fictions floating around, including crossovers with various shows. Cosplays at conventions occur every year, and fan dubs of the anime as well as the manga can be found everywhere, while webcomics are spilling out of the computer's wazoo. Heck, people are even making their own senshis, their own characters for their series. Hey, where'd you get those? Is there not main? There are even fanimations and even extended series here on YouTube. Here I'm using my favorite, Sailor Moon Sacrifice from Kaosho Studios. Then, the craze budded again with the announcement of Sailor Moon Crystal. It's a redo of the classic anime series, though trying to stay truer to the original manga. I personally haven't seen a ton of it yet. I'm kind of waiting to binge it during the summer. But it looks gorgeous from what I have seen. Even though the animation is not the best since it was rushed for fans, it appears to be sticking to its source material, and it has some really pretty imagery, as I said before. Well, there you have it, a history of Sailor Moon. Major thanks to themarysue.com for posting a history of Sailor Moon, which helped me out a lot for this video. So viewers, what is your favorite thing about Sailor Moon? Did you grow up with it like me? Or are you a new Moonie? Please let me know in the comment section below, or follow the link in the description and leave it there. Also, if there's a topic you'd want me to do next, let me know the same way. Leave a like or a favorite if you enjoy this video, so that I know I'm doing something right. If not, in the name of the moon, I will punish you. Anyway, that's all I have for now, my fellow otakus. Thanks for watching my first Lady Otaku Presents video. Sayonara for now, everybody.
悲しみが